Hey guys, what is up? It's Ninja Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you guys an Aurilion Soul review. He came out about a week and a half ago, depending on when I finish this video, and I purchased a bundle of him and his skin, which I suggest playing the classic skin. I find basically the textures are better than the Ashen Lord Aurilion Soul. I just don't like it as much. So basically, every game since he came out, I've played with him, and I've come to learn his mechanics, and I'll give you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned over the past week and a half. But I'm Bronze 5, so just keep that in mind. I'm playing with the biggest scrubs in League. So I guess I could start off with his abilities, starting with his passive, which is called Center of the Universe. Basically, 3 stars orbit Aurelion Soul, dealing 20 to 97 damage depending on your level, and these stars can be disabled by either a silence, stun, or I believe a knockup. And basically, if these stars stop orbiting you, then your main source of damage is gone. And if someone gets close to you, kind of like a Yasuo, if they get in between you and your stars, then you basically lost the fight because your stars are your main source of damage. So I'm going to move on to his W ability instead of doing the Q ability, because Q and E have an interesting interaction that you can use to get into lane faster. So basically his W is the stars that orbit you for your passive. They go to this thing called Outer Limit, which is basically the limit at which Aurelion Soul's abilities can be cast, and it deals 150% of whatever the base damage is and your AP ratio, which is 0.01 AP. Okay, now let's move on to his Q and E. So basically, his Q ability is he creates the core of a star, which is also a slow-moving stun, very similar to Anivia's, except if you use your E, which is called, well, it uses this thing called escape velocity, where if you keep moving in the same direction for a amount of time, then you gain like movement speed as you keep going, and once you reach 100 units of movement, then you can cast it and you fly, but you can't change directions. It's not like it's kind of like Silence Ult, except you can't change directions, and you can fly over everything, like fly over camps and stuff, like jungle camps. And if you cast Q at the same time as you cast your E ability, then you'll do this thing called Nurturing the Star, and it will grow in size and increase the stun area. It won't increase the amount of time the stun is, like Ashe's ult, but it will increase the stun area, and it's ridiculous because the E ability you can go around 7,000 units when it's maxed out, and the stun is 2 seconds long when Q is maxed out. So you can fly, and basically the Q will take up the lane and then some. So you'll be ending up stunning some jungle camps as well, most likely. Now let's move on to his ultimate ability. His ultimate ability, basically, he blasts a straight line of pure starlight, and enemies that are in between him and his outer limit, which we discussed about his W ability, they are knocked back to his outer limit and slowed for 70% for over 4 seconds if they walk into the area that you shoot your starlight, which is kind of like Brahm's ult, except you can be knocked back instead of knocked up. I guess now would be a logical time to talk about Aurelion Soul's build. So the recommended build is you should first rush Rod of Ages. Rod of Age is good because you kind of need that mana, because your W uses mana per second, and the more mana you have, the more you can basically use that ability. Secondly, you would want to get either Rayleigh's Crystal Scepter or Leandri's Torment, just for a little bit more tankiness, because that could really help you in sustaining in a team fight or just in a 1v1, because you really kind of need to last long, because your abilities, they do damage over time. You're not really a bursty champion. So basically the recommended final build, I would say, is Rod of Ages, Rayleigh's Crystal Scepter, Leandri's Torment, Rabadon's Death Cap, and either Deadman's Plate, Spirit Visage, or both, because you kind of need to be tanky. Being tanky is good as Aurilion Soul. So basically that's the end of the video, guys. I just have some jokes, plays that I've done and recorded over the past couple days that I've played with him. So enjoy, and I hope to see you in the next video.
Darkest brought endless rain. Out in the cold, I lost my way. But storms won't last, they clear the air for something new. The sun came out and brought you through. A lifetime full of words to say.